Isekai.
The Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 75, Intended Plan. Shen Xin and his wife finally returned to the residence in the evening. Accompanying them back to the residence was a carriage full of rewards that were bestowed by the palace. If it was like before, these rewards would have been kept at the Shen residence's public fund, but, today, Lu Zuyan let the servants directly carry those chests into the western courtyard. The rewards from the palace were lavish and expensive, and the servants of the eastern courtyard could only look on helplessly, as the chests passed by their courtyard. From time to time, there were sounds of objects breaking coming from Rongjingtang. That extremely cheap old Shen Furin was furious about the matter, and was putting on a tantrum for others to see. But people from the military did not care for such a tantrum. The chests continued their journey, and very efficiently, everything was quickly moved over. Shen Miao was sitting in front of the table reading. She was reading all about Ming Qi's political and legal orders, and those poetry books that Gu Yu and the rest brought for her were thrown aside without even glancing a look at them. One could hear hearty laughter coming from outside the door. Zhao Zhao. Shen Miao turned her head, and saw Shen Xin striding in with Lu Zuyan following closely behind. They probably came over here directly upon their return to the residence, as they did not even change their clothes. Shen Qiu was right at the end, and winked, and made a face at her. Shen Miao stood up, and rushed towards them to greet father, mother, eldest brother. Shen Xin and his wife could not help but be stunned by her gentle look. Shen Miao was not close with them, and in the past when they returned, she would leave after a few words, and would be very impatient. This appearance of harmony has not been seen for a very long time. However, in that gentleness, there was a slight alienation, but, even though it was very small, Shen Xin and Lu Zuyan, as parents, were sensitive to it. Shen Miao sighed slightly in her heart. She was unable to be like a normal 14-year-old girl, and whine to Shen Xin, but also could not pretend as if nothing had happened. In the previous life, it was her that dragged the Shen family down, so when she faced Shen Xin and Lu Zuyan, guilt filled her heart, and truthfully it was hard to be close. Lu Zuyan felt that her heart paused a moment, and the care and concern for her daughter quickly overshadowed that suspicious point. She took a few steps forward, and grabbed Shen Miao's hand before asking anxiously, "How is Zhao Zhao feeling? Is there uncomfortable anywhere?" "It is all right." Shen Miao smiled gently, as she replied. "Zhao Zhao, father had gotten a few big chests of precious stuff from the palace today. When you are better, go pick something you like in the morning. That jewelry, and whatever hairpin, I heard they are first-rated in the entire capital." Shen Xin's words were pleasing to hear. Seeing such a tall and muscular man carefully noticing his daughter's favorites, made some people feel weird. Shen Miao smiled gently, thanking father, "But this matter is not a rush. Just place those precious stuff in the safe in our courtyard. In the long course of time, I will go and take a pic if there was an interest one day." When the words were spoken, the expressions of the people in the room changed. In the past, when Shen Xin carried such chests back, naturally he let Shen Miao select first, and the rest would be sent to the public fund. He had always doted on his daughter, and no one refuted his words, because these rewards were earned by Shen Xin's spears and swords. But, if it was like in the past, Shen Miao would not pick for herself first, and let Shen Yu and Shen Qing finish picking, and after the second and third household finished picking, then she would start to select. This was because she was close to the second and third household, so that was what she did before. But, today, Shen Miao did not push it out, and proposed to lock the chests in the safe in her own courtyard. Even though Shen Zin did not intend to place the rewards in the public fund, but Shen Miao's change of attitude towards the rest of the Shen family was clear in the eyes of others. Even if they did not know the matters in the inner courtyard, they could tell that there was something wrong with Shen Miao. Shen Qi opened his mouth, and Lu Zuyan held onto Shen Miao's hands, and spoke gently. "Zhao Zhao, did something happen? Tell mother about it." Now that father and mother have returned, no one would dare to bully you. No one dares to bully me. Shen Miao smiled. Nothing happened to me. What exactly happens on the day when the ancestral hall caught fire? Shen Zin asked. Why were you the only one remaining in the hall? Both the couple went to the palace to see the emperor, and only left some people to investigate secretly, but it was too late to pursue the details of this strange event. I made a mistake, and was locked in the ancestral hall. Who knew that suddenly the ancestral hall was caught up in a fire? She said reluctantly. When Shen Kaiyu, who was standing behind, saw what was happening, he held back the words which sprang to his lips. He knew what was going on, but Shen Miao purposely and repeatedly told him not to inform the matter Shen Zin and his wife, even though he wanted to tell father and mother the truth. But she said that if Shen Kaiyu did not keep his promise, then she would not be bothered with him anymore. Thus he dismissed the idea in his head. Shen Zin asked Shen Miao as expected, "What mistake did you make?" No matter how big the mistake was, one should not lock you in the ancestral hall alone. Oh. Shen Miao lightly mentioned the gist of it. I contradicted second Shu in front of grandmother and others. What? Lu Zuyan raised her eyebrows in anger, but did not reprimand Shen Miao. She however said, "Number 2 is living backward. For a grown man to quarrel with a young female is nothing but embarrassing." Gu Yu and Jingzi's lips drew out, as they continue serving in the room. It was not at all nonsense when one said that the first household would shield her shortcomings to the extreme. Even if Shen Miao were to beat up Shen Gui, it was feared that Shen Zin and his wife would have blamed Shen Gui for making Shen Miao's hands sore. Younger sister, why did you contradict second Shu? Shen Kaiyu could not help but ask. Most likely because I was not willing to marry. Shen Miao said. Marry? Lu Zuyan and Shen Zin exclaimed out loud in shock, one after the other. Lu Zuyan looked at Shen Miao incredulously, and asked, "Marry what person? How I and your father are not aware of it?" Shen Miao lowered her head. The Vice Minister of the Legislative Bureau's Wei family proposed marriage for their son, Wei Qian. Birthday characters were already exchanged, but I am not willing to marry, so I contradicted in front of everyone. Wei Qian. Shen Zin pondered for a moment. The Wei family is a large family, and the son of the Wei family was considered to be a young talent. If one were to talk about it, it would be rather suitable for Zhao Zhao. He was seriously considering this marriage proposal. As an official for so many years, even if he was not in the Ding capital, Shen Zin roughly understood his peers around 7 to 8 out of 10. If the Wei family had some wastrel son, he could see it out in a glance. Moreover, Wei Qian was a rare and good son-in-law, so in a short period, Shen Zin thought about some other things. Think about what? Lu Zuyan roared. Even if he is the king of heavens or even the emperor, it will not do if Zhao Zhao is not willing. Lu Zuyan's words were shocking. She was a heroic female born in the northwestern military lineage family, and her marriage with Shen Zin was fought by herself. Thus Lu Zuyan could not understand the logic of parents being the matchmakers. She continued, and besides, both you and I were not aware of this matter at all. Who would know what kind of intention they had? Ever since she saw Shen Miao trapped in the sea of fire, while Ran Wanyun maintained a peaceful state of mind, Lu Zuyan was filled with disgust of the other people of the Shen family, and all the good feelings she had were swept away. Shenzhen also frowned. Based on the theory, the Wei family marriage proposal was good. If it was arranged for Shen Miao, it was honestly not a loss. After all, it was rare to be able to pick out such a young talent. But, since this was a good marriage, why did the Shen family hid it from him and his wife? Shen Kaiyu's mouth twitched. He knew what the matter was, and was also mentally complaining about Shen Miao for not speaking about the plan to exchange the marriages that the rest of the Shen family had. But he could only remain silent, and he did not know why every time Shen Miao swept her eyes at him, there was a kind of deterrent force. Shen Kaiyu himself was not willing to believe that he, one who was invincible on the battlefield, would be fearful of his own young sister. But, Zhao Zhao, Shenzhen spoke softly, the eldest son of the Wei family is not bad. For you to be so against this marriage, was it because there is a man in your heart? He hesitated. In the family reports from the Shen family, there was frequent news of Shen Miao being foolishly in love with Prince Ding. In this world, whichever male that Shen Miao liked, he and Lu Zuyan would not obstruct. But Heaven's family was different. Now was the moment where the princes were fighting for the position of the heir. Thus, if the Shen family got involved in it, one was afraid that in end, the family would also be pulled into the mud. But this kind of matters, Shen Miao, a young lady like that, would not understand. On the return road back, Shenzhen and Lu Zuyan had discussed a numerous number of times how to dispel the idea in Shen Miao's head, but in the end, they came out with nothing. Shen Miao was stubborn in temperament, and for things that she had decided, even 9 bulls would not be able to pull her back. Moreover, to tell a young lady to give up the person she liked, if it was anyone else, they would not accept it either. Shen Miao was able to know what Shenzhen was trying to say with one look. She lightly said, I do not have anyone in my heart, and was unwilling to marry because one heard that the young master of the Wei family already had someone in his heart. No matter how good he was, there would not be any light in one's heart, so why do I need to become the person separating the lovebirds, and destroy an unrelated person's life? Shenzhen and his wife felt somewhat dizzy, due to Shen Miao's words. Since when did Shen Miao speak in such a mature way, and with a manner like a female who had faced thousands of waves? Secondly, she said that there was no one in her heart. With regards to Wei Qian, Shen Miao only gradually understood him when she became the empress in her past lifetime. As there was no marriage proposal from the Wei family in the past lifetime, Wei Qian married his Biomai, and as a rare young talent in Ding capital, Wei Qian extremely doted on his wife, and it was evenly spread around. For that to happen, Wei Qian and his Biomai were certainly childhood sweethearts, so that gentleman Wei's heart was unwilling when the Wei family came over to propose. Zhao Zhao, do not you like His Highness Prince Ding? Lu Zuyan bit her mouth, but still asked at the end. Prince Ding? Shen Miao heard it, and lightly said, His Highness Prince Ding is a descendant of the heavens, how can I claim connections? In the beginning, I was ignorant, but now have calmed down, and know that I have overstepped the proper boundaries. At present, one no longer mentions about the matter anymore. Lu Zuyan was surprised again for a moment. Shenzhen and Shen Kaiyu were after all men, and did not understand. Even though she had a carefree character, she was still a female. A female can understand another female's love situation. She thought that Shen Miao only said it verbally, but, after carefully looking at Shen Miao's expression, she discovered that when she was talking about Prince Ting, there was no trace of being emotional in Shen Miao's expression, as if one was mentioning a stranger in general. Not waiting for Lu Zuyan to speak, Shenzhen himself first shouted, "Zhao Zhao, father does not agree with your words. No matter who the Shen family matches with, you can claim connections. Which one of the sons of Ming Qi dare to abandon you, even if—" Lu Zuyan lightly coughed, and stared fiercely at Shenzhen. It did not matter that Shenzhen was praising his daughter, but, it was difficult for Shen Miao to dispel the idea of Prince Ting. Was not Shenzhen finding trouble for himself? Shenzhen also knew that he had said the wrong thing, and quickly looked elsewhere, as if nothing had happened. Lu Zuyan took a good look at Shen Miao, and after seeing her calm expression, she was then relaxed, and smiled. Zhao Zhao is still young of age, and there is no rush to get married. There are many more good males in Mingqi, and our Zhao Zhao has extraordinary looks. How will one be afraid of not marrying well? Do not worry. Our Zhao Zhao's husband would be a hero that can withstand the skies and earth. Shen Miao smiled, and did not say anything. With regards to the fantasy of the person beside her pillow, she has disheartened time and time again during her last life in the inner palace. In this life then, she had already not intended to marry, but, these words cannot be told to Shenzhen, and wife. When normal females heard about their marriage, they would always be a little shy. Moreover, in the eyes of the couple, Shen Miao did not have a cold temperament. But, after Lu Zuyan finished, she did not see any reaction from Shen Miao, and the both of them could not help but feel some frustration. Previously, even though Shen Miao was not close with them, they could still understand Shen Miao's temperament. But, upon returning this time, Shen Miao became unfamiliar, and had matured so much overnight, making Shenzhen and his wife not know what kind of attitude have to face their daughter. If they were to coax her, like how they did previously, and Shen Miao looked at them quietly, then they would look more foolish. When Shen Qiu saw his parents being embarrassed, a burst of laughter burst out. Shenzhen and his wife made one frightened when hearing their names, but, when facing younger sister, they were helpless. But, Shen Qiu's gaze gradually sank. There would not be just a big change of character overnight that made an arrogant young lady so cool and calm. There must be that something else happened. Father, Shen Miao suddenly said, in a few days, there will be a returning banquet that will be held in the palace. The returning banquet will be held because of the defeat of the enemy by the Shen family army, and to celebrate the meritorious deeds. All the civil and military officials would attend, and be considered as the imperial family working to be closer to the officials. In the returning banquet, the emperor would reward the meritorious services rendered. In the last lifetime, after a few days from the returning banquet, the emperor wanted to promote Shen Qiu's official position, but, because of Shen Miao's matter, Shenzhen fought with all his meritorious services, and made the emperor agree to bestow marriage, and gotten Shen Miao the position of Ding Wangfei. It was already considered as overstepping the boundaries of what was proper when a female proposed to a male. Shenzhen was at the mercy of the battlefield for his entire life, but, at the end of the day, used all his services to beg, and was almost ridiculed by the entire court. At that time, Shen Miao did not see Shenzhen's bitter smile, as she was jumping up from the joy of becoming the Ding Wangfei. From the moment she married into Prince Ting's residence, It meant that the Shen family was tied to Prince Sting's boat, and Fu Ziyi had all the reason to squeeze every last drop of value from the Shen family army. "Yes?" Shenzhen asked with a smile. "Does Zhao Zhao have any more requests?" "Father can help you to request His Majesty for them." Such a level of doting love, it was almost like a pearl in one's palm. Shen Miao's mouth was somewhat dry. How could she not discover her father's feelings for her in her past life? The Shen family's death was controlled by the enemies, but it was because of her stubbornness and blindness. "I do not have things that I want." Shen Miao gently smiled, "But, if His Majesty wants to reward father." She paused, and when she looks up again, she said with a pair of clear eyes, "Father can request His Majesty to be able to stay in the capital for half a year to accompany me. How about it?" When the words were spoken, Lu Zuyan, Shen Xin, and Shen Kaiyu were all stunned. Shen Miao had never retained the couple because they were not by her side when she was young, and thus, feelings were shallow, so it was natural that there was nothing much. Every year after the end of the year, Shen Xin and his wife would leave the capital to defend the northwest region, and even if there were no enemies, they had to guard the territory to prevent foreign invasions. This was not necessary, but the emperor would still handpick them, and the old general had this habit to do so, when he was alive. Thus, they had never refuted before. Shen Miao's intention just now was obviously to retain them. She was retaining Shen Xin and his wife so that they would leave half a year later, and this was somewhat outrageous, but when Shen Xin and his wife heard it, they were ecstatic, as this represented that Shen Miao did have feelings for them. Naturally it would be no problem. Delighted with the change in his daughter's attitude, Shen Xin did not think of the problem behind it, and agreed to it. Lu Zuyan was also somewhat excited, but Shen Kaiyu, who was standing at the side, pursed his lips. He did not want to remain in Ding capital. As for him, he felt that nothing was interesting in the Ding capital. Those noble heirs were boring, and it was better for him to be sent to the northwest region's desert to fight battles. However, after looking at Shen Miao's face, his heart softened. At least with him by her side, the best thing was that no one would dare to bully Shen Miao. After saying much more stuff, the Shen Xin couple and Shen Kaiyu left. After they left, Shen Miao put the books on the table, and walked to the side of the window. "Young lady." Gu Yu spoke softly, "Have already spoken to Chun Tao. Eldest young lady's abdomen is fine." This one heard that second Furen and second master were quarreling because of eldest lady's marriage. Shen Miao smiled coldly. Ren Wanyun's good scheme of marrying the sisters together was gone with the eastward flowing streams, but Ren Wanyun naturally would not be willing to let Shen King marry Huang Dazin. But the birthday character cards were exchanged, and both families have concluded it would not be an easy matter to go back on their words at this time. The saying of lifting a rock only to drop it on one's own feet talked about this. Naturally, when Ren Wanyun's idea was up in the air, she would not let her lie well, and keep attacking. If that poisonous snake wants to strike, she would do it during the banquet. Just nice. She also wanted to grab on to Ren Wanyun's tender spot, and catch Prince Yu unaware. Outside the door, Lu Zuyan's and Shen Xin's faces became sullen. Lu Zuyan angrily said, "What is going on with old Tai Tai and your younger brothers to plan Zhao Zhao's marriage for inexplicable reasons? This is the first time hearing such a thing in my life." Furen need not be angry. Shen Xin said, "I will immediately go and get a clear explanation from old Tai Tai, and once there is such a matter, I will immediately clarify things with the Wei family." With such concealment, The matter is strange. I guess that Zhao Zhao has suffered a lot this 1 year. Lu Zuyin snapped. Later, I will call Zhao Zhao's maids over, and ask clearly what exactly is going on, and that Gui Momo has also disappeared. After all, she fought on battlefields, and had some sensitivity to these things. She said, I find that what Zhao Zhao said was correct. If one does not stay in Ding capital for half a year, and punish these monsters, our daughter's life will be gone. As she said, she glared at Shenzhen again. Shenzhen touched his nose, as naturally, he knew that Lu Zuyan was dissatisfied with his two brothers. Not to say, Lu Zuyan, his belly was also filled with anger. He instructed the two guards by his side, guard young lady well these few days. If anything is wrong, immediately inform me. If young lady suffers anything, you will be punished according to the military code. Finishing, he turned towards Shen Kaiyu, and frowned. Rascal, why are you in a daze? Shen Kaiyu recovered to his senses with Shenzhen's roar. He vaguely spoke. Oh, was thinking of something. He was all along thinking about Shen Miao's matter. Today the people that were sent to Wolong Temple had returned to report that there was not anything wrong that happened that day, and no one else knows about the matter. Shen Kaiyu was not a fool, and knew that it was because all those who knew of the matter were sent away. To do it at such a level where not even a hint was detected, was not the Shen family's abilities. Shen Kaiyu became even more suspicious about the truth, and why Shen Miao was hiding it from him. Unconsciously, this younger sister of his became someone who one could not see through. Look at the time already. Shenzhen directed the frustration that he had gotten from his Furin to his unlucky son. You go, and investigate the matters in the residence. I will question you tomorrow. Ah. Shen Kaiyu's face became bitter. He already knew the reality of the details of the events, but, younger sister did not let him speak about it. At the moment, it was a mess in Kaiyan Yuan. Shen Gui just left, but, before he did that, he has gotten into a big quarrel with Ren Wanyan. Ever since the day Shenzhen returned on old Shen Furin's birthday, Shen Gui conflicted with Ren Wanyan on the matter. Shen Gui knew about Shen Miao's confinement, but, to him, once anything went wrong he would push everything to Ren Wanyan. For him, and Shen Wan to walk to this point today, it was all due to the people's connections that Shenzhen left behind. Even though they both have a certain status in court today, if Shenzhen had the intention to do them harm, Shen Gui's and Shen Wan's careers would inevitably be in a mess. This was a world where the military was respected. Even though the civil officials ridicule the generals for being unruly and brute, whoever had military power, whoever will be the most important force in Mingqi, the emperor would naturally protect the general, as compared to the city officials. In the past, both brothers were able to keep the act up without leaking a drop of water, and Shenzhen was also willing to look after them. Who knew that this time Shenzhen saw for himself that Shen Miao was trapped in a sea of fire. Shenzhen valued Shen Miao like his life, and would do anything in a fit of anger, which made Shen Gui flustered. Ever since Shenzhen returned, Shen Gui was extremely irritable, but, Ren Wanyan happened to mention withdrawing from the marriage at this time. It was practically adding oil into the fire, so all the dissatisfaction that he had with Ren Wanyan was unleashed. Today was the same. He got into a furious fight with Ren Wanyan, and put his foot down that Shen King must marry into the Huang family. Shen Gui flicked his sleeves, and left Ren Wanyan who was gasping for air as she almost fainted. Animals, animals. Ren Wanyan stroked her heart, and her lips were trembling. Shen Gui did not care for the happiness of his daughter, and set his heart climbing up the Huang family for his career advancement, and that made Ren Wanyan so angry that she could throw horses and men off their feet. Now that Shenzhen had returned, Lu Zuyan was not someone with who one could get along easily. If it was not because the matter was extremely confidential, if Shenzhen and his wife knew that she had the idea of exchanging the marriages, she was afraid that they would have the heart to kill her. Even if Shenzhen and his wife did not discover it this time, the matter on the fire at the ancestral hall had already estranged the first household from them. Thus it would be harder to harm Shen Miao in the future. Ren Wanyan could not wait to cut Shen Miao up into thousands of slices. In the beginning, it was Shen Miao that schemed against Shen Qing. If it was not for Shen Miao, then how would Shen Qing end up being forced to marry a cut sleeve? Now that Shen Miao had Shenzhen's protection, it would be difficult to take action in the area of marriage. Furen, please cool down. Xiang Lan cooled down Ren Wanyan, and spoke. Ones must not destroy the body with anger. The returning banquet is in a few days. If that happens, then it would not be convenient to move it. Ren Wanyan's eyes moved, and a grim smile appeared on her face. You are right. I must not destroy my body with anger. During the returning banquet, I want that little slut to live worse than death. She turned her head, and looked at Kaiju. Did the letter reach Prince Yu's residence? It is already sent over. Kaiju carefully said. Since my King Er's ending is not good, that little slut better not be thinking of escaping. There were traces of a sneer in Ren Wanyan's expression, as she coldly laughed. I cannot do anything to her, as Shenzhen is there protecting her, but, if they have the ability then they should go against Prince Yu. She was like a vicious snake, as she said gruesomely. There will be someone that will take care of her. In the residence of Prince Yu of the first rank, in the magnificent and grand main hall, a beautiful Persian dancer was wearing a thin piece of clothes dancing. Those fair bare feet were stepping on the soft carpet, and colored bells were dangling around her ankles, as they rang a sweet jingling sound following the dance moves. Her snake-like body was dancing vicariously. High up on the seat was a male who had an ugly and hideous face, and an empty left leg. It was Prince Yu. At the moment a petite girl was kneeling next to him. That young female was around 11 or 12, and she was very young, and very beautiful, but her eyes were filled with fear. At this moment she was no more than an inch away, pounding lightly on Prince Yu's leg. This young female's fair body was covered with purple and blue bruises. Upon a closer look, there were red whip marks. It was she had experienced painful and excruciating torture. Prince Yu looked at the contents of the letter, and he suddenly laughed, and violently smacked the lion's head on the seat. The young female screamed in shock, and quickly fell onto the ground, as her entire body could not help but tremble. Shenzhen. A few words were chewed out of Prince Yu's mouth. Shen Miao dared to play around with this prince. After what happened that night, because he had found other interesting things, he had thrown it to the back of his mind. For Prince Yu, these young ladies were only interesting toys, and were the same as rearing those cats and dogs. As for what would happen to them later, he does not care one bit. Combined with Shen Gui's concealment, he did not discover anything wrong. Until this letter came, he finally recalled that there were some odd things that day, that Shen Miao had such good means, that not only did she countercheck Ren Wanyan, she also played with him. In Mingqi, Prince Yu of the first rank was considered a son of the imperial family. Other than the emperor, everyone would have to be courteous and given to him. Shen Miao was a little girl, and even dared to step on his dignity under her feet. If previously, he only felt interested in playing with Shen Miao, This time Prince Yu had truly become furious, and his murderous intention was ignited. It is just that now Shen Xin was still protecting her in the Ding capital. How can he take action? Or could it be possible to eliminate Shen Xin? Prince Yu of the first rank touched his chin, and a trace of extreme viciousness flashed in his eyes.